Wow, and you thought your commute was bad. Imagine trying to go to the booty lifting factory in Brazil today because you won't be able to. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Ocasio-Cortez here. We are change.org, and we have a plethora of absolutely crazy news to get into today, not just, of course, from Brazil, where there's a brand new spanking government in place that some people are having problems with, but specifically, we're also going to be talking about the latest shocking crazy news coming from China, as well as the latest tensions between the President of the United States and Zelensky that look like they just got into a big argument. All of this as, of course, we're keeping a very close eye on Twitter and Elon Musk with some other developments that are definitely worth talking about, and we're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all here on this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing right now, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, and the clip we played in the beginning of this broadcast is just one of many clips coming all throughout Brazil of a major protest happening there right now in reaction to the latest presidential elections that happened in that country. In response to this, truckers, as well as average citizens, have decided to take to the streets to protest, specifically the truckers deciding to block dozens of highways all throughout Brazil, as of course they are showing distrust in the official elections that were very close, that just happened a few days ago, where the former president of Brazil, who was previously charged for corruption and was sentenced to 12 years in prison, who was also a top member of the World Economic Forum, was once again elected to the presidency of that country, which led other prominent American politicians like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to cheer him on. This says, of course, he also has clear, extensive ties to Davos.
Very cordial welcome again to Davos.
And as the protests ratchet up in Brazil against this new election, and it's important to note here that a part of this larger truck protest that's happening all throughout Brazil, some of the members of this protest are literally saying that they will not leave until the military takes over in Brazil and, of course, unseats the newly elected president of that country. Now, what will happen to these protests, where they will go, how will they unfold? Well, this is something that we are going to be keeping a close eye on, but it's also important to note here that YouTube in Brazil has just come out with a statement saying that any contention with this election, any questioning of this election is a bannable offense, announcing publicly on YouTube Brazil that they will remove content with any information that is claiming that there was fraud or technical issues or errors in this election that just happened in Brazil. So how will this situation unfold? Only time will tell. And in related World Economic Forum influence and controlled governments, we're also finding out today that China is bringing back the lockdown, specifically to Wuhan, after 3 years of this utter nonsense, a part of their zero sickness campaign. Yes, you heard that correctly. An entire town in Wuhan is being isolated as we speak right now, as the government there is implementing more draconian, over-the-top policies which clearly haven't worked before, in a bid to stop a sickness that, of course, originated in its country. And again, there are still lots of viral videos coming from China with their absolutely ridiculous policies that they still push on the people living there. This latest clip is not from a dog kennel, but from another quarantine camp where people are kept for their safety. It's also important to note that a lot of dissidents and journalists are also kept in isolation from everyone, all a part of, their zero sickness policies for everyone's health. There's other crazier videos of drones flying with QR codes demanding that the central authorities there want you to scan so you could be in compliance with the whims of the bureaucrats in that country. And it seems like drones are becoming a lot more popular in China, as of course there's also this crazy, insane video coming from that country highlighting a quadcopter drone dropping off an armed robot dog with a machine gun on top of it. Yes, this is not a scene from the Terminator. This is a scene from, of course, the dystopian future that many powerful globalists want to see envisioned all throughout the world, as they are now currently testing it in China. Their policies have gone so insane that some people are forced to live in a horror right now in Disney World in Shanghai, as the amusement park has been put on lockdown as visitors are unable to leave the theme park without a negative test. Yes, you heard that correctly. People are being quarantined and told to stay inside of Disney World in Shanghai if they don't have a swab shoved down their nose hole, almost hitting their brains, in compliance with what the government there wants them to do. And again, these lockdowns, these zero sickness policies are ridiculous, nonsensical, non-scientific. They don't work, and the only thing they do achieve is, of course, forcing compliance of the general public to obey the government and its wishes for you. And of course, these policies have a vast, wide effect, not just on the people of China, but of course the people of the world, as of course even major iPhone production factories in China are being abandoned, as many people fear that they will be locked down inside of them, which in a small microcosm might affect your ability to get an iPhone. But who cares about that? There's literal totalitarian human enslavement being practiced and envisioned with the goals of many technocrats right now in China, as these are some of the same policies that they wish to implement globally all throughout the world. And if we're being honest with ourselves, they will stop at nothing at trying to achieve this. And in unrelated other governments that are influenced and controlled by the World Economic Forum, we're also finding out that Ukraine is dealing with a significant major problem when it comes to their infrastructure, when it comes to their power grid, which is leaving much of the Ukrainian capital, Kiev, without power, as the Russian government there has been specifically targeting the energy infrastructure of that country, which is leading to some significant chaos. In response to this, the Ukrainian government is asking more and more from the American government that essentially has been funding this war, and as many Western leaders have been telling them to avoid peace deals and truces along with negotiations. This in response has the president of Ukraine essentially fighting the war against Russia for the larger Western powers. This is a proxy war. There's no denying that this is a proxy war. And this is one reason out of many reasons why, according to some reports inside of the White House, the president of Ukraine is asking for more military aid, which now, according to some reports, even the president of the United States is getting sick of being asked for, as we're learning that the latest conversation between Joe Biden and Volodymyr Zelensky got very heated, with Joe Biden raising his voice against the president of Ukraine, reminding him of the generosity of the American people, and that Zelensky, quote, should be more thankful. This is according to, again, 4 people familiar with this phone call, and it wouldn't surprise me if this is true, as of course the Ukrainian government is finding on behests of American policy that has been prolonging and expanding this war. And again, the United States already spent $80 billion, according to the official estimates, on this larger geopolitical foreign policy endeavor. Was it worth it? In my opinion, no, and I will be talking about that, plus a lot more later on today on LukeUncensored.com, as well as some other very spicy topics, particularly that we cannot discuss here on this broadcast, but we can, of course, on LukeUncensored.com. We have built our own platform. Forget about Patreon. Forget about logos. Forget about everything else. We have our own website where we could say and do whatever we want, where we are not in the whims of any central controller, middleman, corrupted mafioso. It is me and you being able to talk to each other through a forum. We're going to be doing a big AMA soon, 3 master classes, exclusive merchandise, exclusive access to real life events, all of this in our quasi-secret, not so secret society that we are calling LukeUncensored.com. If you haven't joined up, if you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? If you have any questions or complications, email right now, dave@wearechange.org. Signing up is very easy. You just click this button, enter in all of your information, enter in your email, and you will get a login code that will allow you to log in to LukeUncensored.com. You get that login code, you come back to LukeUncensored.com, you log in right here, and then bada bing, bada boom, you're inside and have access to everything we are working and developing and building together on LukeUncensored.com. See you there with a new video available only for members right now on lukeuncensored.com. As of course, there's a new video there almost every single day available just for members. Now, as promised, we're also keeping a very close eye on the decentralization of Twitter that has essentially centralized its board of directors towards one man, and that, of course, is Elon Musk, who just changed his Twitter bio to, quote, Twitter complaint hotline operator, of course, publicly bringing attention to all the scrutiny that he has been facing when it comes to purchasing a major online big tech social media platform that, of course, comes with a lot of responsibility. You can see that responsibility being talked about through his bio, but there are some big moves being made by Twitter, according to some sources that are now reporting that the company has now frozen some employees' access that is being used for content moderation and policy enforcement that has been particularly the ones responsible for, of course, banning and censoring political speech. With now Elon Musk stopping some of these employees from abusing their power, from stopping real legal conversations from taking place, I could already report to you that from my experiences on Twitter, the platform has been revitalized. I have been getting a lot more engagement, a lot more followers, a lot more interesting conversations, and personally, even though there haven't been a lot of changes done already, I've been personally enjoying the platform a lot more, knowing that there are some future safeguards in place that could, of course, protect me and my ability to express myself freely. That is something that, of course, is very rare, but right now is being guaranteed by Elon Musk, who so far has kind of delivered on this platform. And we still have to realize we are still very early on when it comes to this platform and what they are promising and what they have to do. But today we're getting confirmation that at least 25% of the company's workforce will be laid off, will be fired. The board of directors has been dissolved, and Elon Musk has made him the sole director of Twitter. He has also went on the platform and told everyone that this is going to be temporary, as right now the platform is being changed, modified about how it will unban some individuals and allow speech on their platform moving forward. There's going to be a lot of exciting developments here, as Elon Musk has also put up forward a plan that would make verified users pay for their verified badge, which, if Elon Musk keeps his promises, I would personally gladly pay for. As of course, there's a coordinated effort by a lot of globalists, internationalists, corporate media outlets like the Washington Post, and of course now NBC News, that are pushing people to, of course, create an advertiser boycott and to leave the platform. NBC News just released an article of alleged celebrities that are leaving the platform, showing pictures of people that I don't even know. Who are these people? Who is Tia Liani? Who the hell is Shonda Rhimes? Who is Sarah Bareilles? I think this guy was in some kind of dork movie. I somewhat familiar, but I don't even know his name. Who are these people? Why did they leave Twitter in protest? I don't give a damn. I don't care. NBC cares. Why? Because there's an agenda right now and a narrative to try to, of course, totally bankrupt and rob a platform that is promising to have free speech. Free speech is so dangerous to these Neanderthal-like children that they are willing to leave a platform because of the fear of people being able to talk to each other freely. That right there is childlike behavior and thinking that, of course, is not very mature, but it's not just a corporate advertiser boycott that, of course, Elon Musk has to worry about. It's also, of course, the federal government, as U.S. Senator Chris Murphy now is calling on for a national security investigation of Twitter, specifically with their ties to Saudi Arabia, specifically targeting Elon Musk, even though the Saudi Arabian prince being investigated here has a lot of ties to other businesses, to other billionaires, to other globalists. But of course, the Senate Democrat only cares about Twitter for some reason. This, as we're learning that a lot of people in Washington, D.C. are concerned about people having the ability to talk to each other freely without being censored by the federal government, as we recently found out that it was the Department of Homeland Security working with, of course, the FBI and the DOJ that have been censoring speech on the internet. It wasn't big tech social media. It wasn't a private company. It was the federal government, according to the latest documents released by The Intercept, that was the one calling the shots and deciding who was banned and not banned on big tech social media. Will they still have that power with Twitter? Will there be a big battle between the two? Well, yes. Obviously, this is going to happen. What's going to happen? It's going to be very interesting to watch and very interesting to see, because anything could happen here, especially with this upcoming midterm election. How will it shift the power in Washington, D.C.? What will happen? Where will there be oversight? Where will there be investigations? Well, we're going to be keeping a close eye on it, as of course, we're still skeptical of Mr. Elon Musk. That looks like he just donned a picture of Baphomet on his chest with his latest Halloween costume that is called the Devil's Champion. Yes, you heard that correctly. Elon Musk just wore a nearly $8,000 Devil's Champion costume to a Heidi Klum Halloween party. What is this supposed to represent? What is this supposed to be symbolic of? Is it supposed to be symbolic of anything? What does this mean? Well, what do you think? Let me know down in the comment section below. But with stunts like this, it definitely makes me skeptical, as we've always been skeptical of Elon Musk. Watch our previous videos on this YouTube channel and you can see a lot of deep criticism of the man that gets a lot of government contracts and is working on some very questionable, very dangerous high tech that has some severe consequences for the future of a free humanity. What's really happening here? Well, let me know down in the comment section below. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org. One more video right now on lukeuncensored.com. See you there.